Da-da-da! What's my good cheer? Welcome, everybody. I don't know how much time I have in order to be able to go live this way, only because I did a live last night and they kind of changed the format here on YouTube since last time I went live. So I know because I'm using my phone, it's going to be vertical. It is what it is. It's adapt and conquer. I've got my new laptop sitting in the hands of a good friend who's doing his very best at this moment to get me back up and running. But in the meantime, because I show up here fresh like a loaf of bread every single day, I have to find another way. I thought I had it figured. I had a webcam here, but because it's for a PlayStation, and it wasn't set up properly, I just thought I could go bang, 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 and we'd be up and running again. But that's not the case. If I don't have my laptop when I get home tonight, I will go through my electrical bag and find a proper webcam for my PC, and we'll be up and running again. I might even have one at work that I can grab. But in any case, like I said, I'm not sure how much time we have today before I lose my life, but I just wanted to pop in because we are finishing on that topic that we got this week of learning. It was a doozy for me. My week was full of learning in building my network and the technical aspects of it, learning about, understanding what frustration was. It wasn't anger, it was nothing like that, but it was just like, oh, why can't I get this, right? And that frustration wasn't directed at anything, but what it was, it was an agitation that I understand that gets me in a frazzle, that could get me to the point where I'm actually not able to focus on the task at hand because I'm so busy, right? Dealing with all this other stuff. And I'm a multitasker. I love problem solving. But that's the idea. I love solving the problems. I love solving the problems. And, right, I'm not technically inclined when it comes to laptops. I did the very best that I could with the tools and the resources that I had. And I gave it a good shot, and I learned tons in that. But I also understood my limits when it came. In this moment, it doesn't mean that I won't learn it, but I have to see it myself. I have to experience and witness it myself. And, that's kind of what thought leadership is all about. That's what any kind of leadership is. It's that person who's going to lead, right, in their example of themselves so that other people can see how it can be done, right? And it's not a matter, that person doesn't even have to be an expert at it, right? You're walking down the sidewalk and somebody falls flat on their face, right? Because they didn't see the pothole in front of them. 100%. If you witness that, you can learn by that failure. You can learn by that mistake. And when you're walking down the sidewalk, you keep a half eye on the sidewalk, right? Right? Something you learn when you learn to ride a bike, because there's nothing worse than hitting a pothole when you're riding a bike, or, a rock that's going to send the tire off a different direction or pop the tire and then you lose full control altogether. It is in that paying attention. Okay? So I can attach that feeling. It was such a great lesson to have this week, and that frustration of trying to figure it out, hitting my own ceiling of my own understandings, right? So it made me really, really take a look at that. It just the serendipity of, picking the word lessons right away, and then being taught the lessons, that the lessons aren't technically a book or a video, right? That it comes in so many forms, and we talk about it in our everyday, day to day, in those conversations, right? Those tricky conversations, those conversations where you or somebody else is full of frustration, right? And when you're full of frustration, you're not paying attention, you're not concentrating because all it's just a frustration, right? And we got to learn to find ways to comfortably bring ourselves back, because we're never going to learn anything. We're never going to absorb anything. And we're not going to do ourselves any good or anybody around us any good. I'm grateful. I don't have, right? Like I say all the time, I don't have kids, right? I don't have needy husbands, right? Screaming grandchildren. I don't have that. I have a safe, quiet, comfortable work environment that I can take in the lessons in that state. So I took 6 days because I knew I could take 6 days of that frustration, right? It was a good lesson for me, number one. Number two, because I have that safe, comfortable, right, quiet work environment, that I could put some extra energy into that problem to see if I could even expand even more, right? Not have to rely on somebody else, right? That's why we do all, right? We become independent and leave it alone. I got this, right? Because it's that trust issue. It's those, right? Just relying on yourself. And you would, when it comes to learning, and you know it's necessary, right? You have no choice but to learn, right? You don't have any, nobody can learn, nobody can learn for you. Those resources, right, are to resource the possibilities and the teaching tools, right? But they're only tools. We're the only ones who can learn on that. We're the only ones that can experience where our ceiling is. And I learned my ceiling this week. I learned so many lessons this week. It was such a great word to pick. Just the way it tied into how I'm curious to see what word we get next week. Maybe it will be a little bit of forewarning of how my week is going. I hope I got some amazing, I'm sure I do, positive words in that list. But it would be absolutely amazing, right? If we could have something that's just going to make stuff roll in or stuff roll out or stuff expand, right? That's the fun of it. Okay, I'm gonna have a quick sip of my tea. I'm sure this live is going right now, but I'll only get a few seconds and maybe a link. Oh, maybe that's what it is. It's a link to the full live. Yeah, so check if this cuts out on you guys. Check, okay, to see if there's a link to catch the whole live show, because that would be amazing. I'm adapting. I'm conquering. I don't have my new laptop. I'm praying, right? I trust my friend Miles will do everything he possibly can, and I'll do something equally as kind. And to me, it might not seem so wonderful, but I know Miles. I know the kind of things that he likes, and I know the kind of things that will make him smile and make him feel that, that was really, really nice. I hope, like, we're friends for a very, very long time, and there's lots of people. If I ever made it big, I thought, oh my goodness, right? He could be president, and he could be editor, and right? And you can hand out all these positions so that when you have these ceilings, right? These ceilings that frustrate you, and that frustration, right? You give it a good shot, because it's in our failures and in the practices that we get comfortable, right? That we got this, we understand it. But I tell you, right? You give it a fair amount of time, just so you have a clear idea that this just is not going to absorb into your system. And then that's when you hand it over to somebody else, or you ask somebody, can you help me out? Can you help me to explain this? Can you do it for me, right? Because you already know through the experience that you don't like it, right? I hit top 1%. Editor, right? I'll never edit another video. I will supervise the way it's all put together because, right? That's my creativity. That's what I bring to the table, right? And of course, the video that I take. But I've got lots of adventures that I want to edit, people. So I'm going to do my very best to get that laptop back up, right? And yeah, hopefully we don't have that problem again. I have a clear idea, well, maybe not clear, but I have a few ideas of what I did wrong. And if we can get us back to point A, right, maybe I can get us to point B. Or maybe just back to where we are, and then I could just travel down a different side branch, right? Try something new. But that's part of the process, right? Maybe I'll blow up the laptop again. Maybe. But maybe not, because I know how uncomfortable it is. I know how frustrating it is. And I'm going to think twice before it says hit this and your files are gone forever, permanently gone, right? I'll think twice before I do that and just say, let's see if this works. Right? Learn from your mistakes just as much as we learn from our successes, and that's 100%. I have to go to work, to the job that puts the roof over my head, that allows me, right, to sit here and have these conversations, and hopefully, right, maybe tomorrow, if not, maybe the next day, we'll be up and back and running, right? And then on my days off, what am I going to be doing? I'm going to be editing video, right? And at very least, get them uploaded unlisted so that I can just release them when I want with the not going into panic that I've hit a wrong button. Oh, my cup today. It's not inspirational, but it is inspirational because of the colors and the feeling, right? It's one of my favorite mugs, and I just wanted to feel cheery before I headed off to work. It's a dark, gloomy day, and we're gonna have some more rain, but it is what it is. You guys have a great day, and we'll see each other tomorrow. Bye bye.